Alright, hello SpeedGaming 4. Welcome to the Aria Star Randomizer Tournament 2022. This is a loser's bracket match between cemo and GarniTexas. This will be a best of 3, all matches played today in a row. So stick around if you're enjoying it. While we wait for the runners to get started, go over the rule set. We're going to be running with the standard tournament flag set of Panther first, Shop Sanity, so the hammer shop is randomized, Area Shuffle, as the area connections are shuffled around, and Boss Shuffle, which means that the boss connections are shuffled around. To beat the game, we need to go for the true ending, so Keel and Chaos, Julius, and Graham with all 3 book souls, which means the runners will need to find all 3 books. These are placed in progression locations. Oh! We got a claim in the shop. Like I said, Shop Sanity, random shop. We're starting with the second best sword in the game, claim. Beyond that, we also saw the Chronomage Soul, which is a form of progression. It can take the place of Galamoth in allowing you to pass and block areas. So right off the bat, seeing canisters is probably Panther here. Yeah. Panther first means that one of the first 6 progression items is going to be Black Panther. So this is going to allow the runners to check this first exit, which is the dead end of top floor. Past that, probably just going to be heading on to the right, then up the upper corridors. Freaking still won't be an issue, not with claim. And the runners will be looking for an early progression like Malthus, maybe Flight if you're lucky. I got a random Iron Golem drop there. That's the yellow soul that lets you not take knockback from enemies, allowing you to just run straight through them. It's a bit dangerous to use if you don't have a lot of gear, since it also lowers your iframes. But it lets you get a lot faster. We're also seeing Skula to allow the runners to traverse underwater, though without the Malthus Soul, none of the Skula locked areas are in logic. Kicker there doesn't mean too much here, because can't kick without Malthus in this preset. And backdash, not going to be very important either, since claim, as a light weapon, does not require backdash canceling. So a lot of early Grey Souls, but not necessarily the ones the runners are looking for. Oh, that's red book right there. It's bat locked, which means the runners will need the giant bat soul to access that check. But being able to just know that it's there can be very helpful, since once the runners have, say, 2 of the other books, they can just take a beeline straight here. We're also seeing the Malthus and Flying Armor souls. Malthus are double jump, that'll allow a lot more of the castle to be opened up. Basically everything that's not flight locked. And Flying Armor, mostly made redundant by Panther, though there are a couple niche tricks that make use of it. We are immediately entering into Underground Reservoir. This is generally a pretty dangerous area, especially without a lot of armor, but with Claim, as well as Skula and Malthus, we could see both runners choosing to full clear Eastern here. The cemo is not going to be doing that. Does find Undine and is going to be heading down towards the rest of Reservoir. Barney, meanwhile, is heading into Eastern. We're going to be seeing some boat movement clipped into the wall. It's a couple frames faster. And right now we're hoping for Garni that these checks are pretty useful here. We just saw on Cemo's side the amount of damage that these fish heads do, though they are weak to Holy, so if you stay at a safe distance, they'll be able to use Claim to kill them. Cemo's headed off to the left side of Reservoir here. This is another exit, as well as a couple checks. Pretty out of the way, so it could be a pain if this ends up being a dead end for Cemo. But that Minotaur soul is a nice find, as it's the first strength boosting soul we found. And straight into Clock Tower. This is a pretty good area, though the runners don't have any armor right now, so these enemies will be doing a lot of damage. There's still a boss here, which should go down pretty quickly to claim, as well as some checks that the runners can access using Skula. Normally, when a runner runs into Legion like this, a lot of runners tend to reset out. It's a very slow fight, but Legion is weak to Holy. Claim is a very high damage and Holy Element sword, so we're seeing it's hitting almost 250 per hit. That said, I wouldn't necessarily want to sit in the corner here. Cemo down to 8 HP. Each part of Legion here has, I believe, 5,000 HP. So, it can be very time-consuming to get them down, even when dealing so much damage. Cemo's taken down all parts of the core, or all parts of the shell, which means that they'll be getting the Legion Soul Drop here. White Dragon. Very not amazing soul. Garni finished off clearing Eastern and is now going to be heading the same direction as Cemo. We'll see if he decides to head up and head West Reservoir, or just takes the path down. And it looks like he's heading down towards the save room and a few other checks in Reservoir. Seeing an Elfin Herb for Cemo. It's a very good piece of armor, since it boosts your int, which is what your Rush Souls and other blue souls scale off of. These are some of your best damage dealing souls, and int, unlike strength, scales, I want to say logarithmically, but it's better than strength scaling. And like we just saw that Devil Soul there on Cemo's side, so with Elfin Robe and that Devil, they'll be able to deal a lot more damage. Though, with Claim, it's even better. Claim as a sword boosts your intelligence, meaning that you can get off even more damage. We also just saw a trick there where Cemo ran into a wall and then crouched on the ground. Since they don't have slide in this area, they're not actually able to slide under those spikes, but a runner named Algorithm has discovered a couple setups to slide under the spikes, meaning that you can only take one hit while going through that tunnel. On Garni's side, we're seeing another trick discovered by Algorithm. The waterfall resets your double jump when you go out of it, meaning that with good timing, you are able to double jump up that waterfall, which normally requires flight to get. Chat is talking about Bat, so I assumed that I missed Bat. Looks like Bat was down for cemo, if I'm not mistaken. No, Bat was with Garni. Oh, okay. So then Bat was on Triton Hallway. I'm not sure what level Garni is, but I think he needs a bit more experience before he can get to the top of that waterfall. So it looks like he'll just be leaving that for later. We're seeing Garni entering into inner quarters here. This is the right side, which means there's no save for the boss at the top. But with Claim, it's pretty safe to fight most bosses here. And Garni just found Armor Fire, which raises his defense by probably 20 or more compared to that silk robe he was wearing. As for cemo, they're just entering into Cemetery. Since Legion is dead, the enemy composition in this area changed slightly. Left over from the vanilla game where you're supposed to enter into a more deserted cemetery, and then when you've killed the boss, there's a lot more enemies. But we're going to see Garni headed up towards this boss in inner quarters. Since he does have Chronomage right now, the Galamoth check on the left side of inner quarters is something that he'll be able to do. So this is a pretty good option for him, as a lot of the time Galamoth ends up being something that you skip and leave to the end. Sleeping out a Stormy Tower to avoid having to run all the way back down, and entering into the boss fight of death. cemo using Devil on Headhunter there. Headhunter is actually weak to the slash element of Devil, meaning it does slightly more damage than, say, Manticore. And both of these bosses we're seeing right now are the shop bosses. We saw the hammer shop at the start pay off greatly with Claim, and when either of these bosses is killed, the shop will expand, meaning that they're generally pretty worth it to kill. cemo sees Levitane, goes for it on instinct, as it's a very good weapon, but not as much reason to grab it when you have Claim, though it's still a pretty good weapon for Julius, as Julius Belmont resists the holy element. So yeah, we just saw cemo go back and grab it. Garni is entering the Chronomage hallway and uses the Chronomage Soul, which stops time, and stops the time of the Time Stopper himself, allowing Garni to take the first book we've seen, Blue Book, as well as the Alistair Soul. And that is very interesting. The Blue Book, Alistair, as well as the Blue Soul, Alistair, both in the same room in Galamoth. This is the second book we've seen? That's right, Red Book was bat-locked. It's the first book that we've seen the results of. So Garni, thank you for pointing that out, Armath, actually. Garni has seen Red Book, though wasn't able to get it at the time. But now that he has Bat, he could head back there to the right side of the corridors and grab that Red Book. cemo found Forbidden, but then chose to take the Forbidden exit, which took them to Study. Without Slide or Giant Bat, cemo will not be able to get out of Study. And we are seeing Garni get that Red Book there. Needles. I believe we've seen that soul. Yeah. So Garni is almost in go mode, actually. 15 minutes in. He just needs to find that yellow book. Triton Soul for cemo. very good strength boost. And it looks like they've decided to not clear out the rest of study, just doing these checks at the top and heading back into Forbidden. And heading back out of Forbidden as well. It's always a bit of a gamble doing Forbidden and Study without Slide, as it could pay off big. You could find something we need, like that yellow book there, Stolas from Big Golem. Stolas, Garni does not have that. The Big Golem farm is doable. There's a Big Golem in Reservoir, and Garni knows where Reservoir is. But Big Golem as a boss does have a lot of health and some pretty jank hitboxes, meaning that it would be a very slow farm. So Garni now has the decision of, do I go farm Big Golem, or should I keep clearing these areas, try to find Garden's top floor, and hopefully run into the Stola Soul along the way. But like I was saying, Study without Slide, you can end up going through the entire thing and getting locked at that last boss. And if there's nothing of worth in there, you either have to reset out of the whole thing, or if you've saved for that boss, you end up losing a lot of progression. And cemo, making use of their own Chronomage, gonna end up finding Blue Book and the Blue Soul right here in Galamoth. Garni, heading out the bottom of Chapel, does find the other exit to Study. We've only seen the top couple of checks here, so it could be that there's the Yellow Soul that we're missing here. That said, we know where the other exit of Study is, which is the Forbidden Locked Door, which means that when Garni reaches the top of this area, he'll be forced to either reset back to the beginning, or to backtrack through the whole thing. Both Study exits go to the other normal exit. True. I didn't notice that. We are seeing a Big Golem here. It is possible Garni gets the soul right here. It did not happen. So he's going to be resetting off to that save point in Study, instead of running back. Yeah, he could also reset and go fight the boss again, but do something slightly different to try and get that soul. Man, Study does have two very good stat boosting souls in Triton and Dead Crusader. The other two 16s, but alas, Stolas is not one of them. That is Slide. Interesting. So for cemo, who came in here earlier, but bailed after these 3 checks, if they had kept going, they would have found Slide to be able to exit Study. Yeah, they just come to that wall as well. Slide locked, so without Bat or Slide, they won't be able to do anything. And Garni runs into that dead end, chooses to reset back to Study. So he'll be losing Triton as well as Slide. But he will be saving the time. It looks like Ghost Dancer is the enemy that drops the Kicker Skeleton Soul. Most ability souls don't get randomized, since they're just found in canisters. But the Kicker Skeleton Soul, as it is normally a drop from the Kicker Skeleton enemy, does actually get randomized, and we just saw it from Ghost Dancer. Olsen Shop Deska. I don't know if we've seen either parts of the upgrade shop. Interesting, cemo just found top floor connected to the bottom part of Reservoir. So it could be worth for Garni to head and clear top floor. And there's Giant Bat for cemo. So now, with the more levels they have from Legion, they'll be able to do those waterfall checks. Good movement from cemo there. Coming in from the right side of that room and managing to not spawn the Arc Demon at all. Now Garni's going to be entering Forbidden. Ooh, a duplicate blue book at the top of Waterfall. Not what cemo wants to see there. Not since they already have blue book. Looks like Garni's going to be heading deeper into Forbidden. It especially helps that he's already seen the other exit of Forbidden with Study. So he doesn't need to check that exit at all. Gets a Calibulk for his troubles. That'll definitely be worth it against Julius. And cemo finds Gardens. Oh, sorry, what was that?
There's Garden.
Yeah.
One of the last locations they're gonna need after the top floor boss.
Gardens. Does anybody know where Gardens is? It looks like cemo is not going to be checking out the rest of Gardens, which is a shame, because I really want to know if it connects to Arena. The second exit of Gardens is a left exit as well, which means it can go into the dead end of Arena, which would mean that a Rush Soul is required to access Gardens. And I do not believe Garni has one, having not found that Devil Soul. You can see cemo headed back to the top floor without a whole lot of health, but taking the heal.
Lean movement here. The Stolus room.
Yeah, good top floor movement is always super impressive to watch. The way that you can manipulate especially these lubricants to allow Soma a clean path upwards. And jumping right over it to access that warp.
You know, bait out this lunge, that command grab. I'm gonna look around first before even thinking of saving.
Yeah, the runners have already seen the dead end of top floor, so this exit won't do them that much good. And there's Vanilla Galamoth. That's how you're intended to get that blue book. And by Vanilla Galamoth, I do not mean that that's Vanilla Galamoth. I just mean it's the Galamoth soul.
Right, by vanilla logic, you can only get the Chronomage soul by having the Galamoth ability.
Yep. As Triple Factorial just mentioned, yeah, opening that locked door does open the connection from corridors to top floor, which will make the return trip a bit faster. So we saw cemo doing that, and then I think they'll probably be headed off to the right side exit of top floor. And Garni does find Arena here, up at, I think that's a vanilla top floor, or clock tower? One of those exits. But he's choosing to warp out of that and back into Reservoir instead. Back, yeah, okay. Maybe. Garni's headed to corridors.
Maybe pick up the red book?
He grabbed the red book earlier in the seed.
Oh,
So I think cemo still needs to grab that one.
that's who I meant.
Garni does find top floor, checks the other exit to see just where it goes. And cemo keeps debating with himself if they want to go check these exits, but first gotta grab that book. And now on to top floor for Garni as well.
Alright, both runners have red souls, blue souls, with the books. They're just missing the last piece.
Yep. I don't think that cemo has seen yellow book. But neither runner has seen that yellow soul. Which does make me think that it's in arena. The cemo's about to see yellow book. Yep. Right there. So now both runners are in more or less the same spot. They're just looking for that Stolas soul.
cemo not going out of their way for healing. There's the tasty meat. Never mind.
Well, at the level that cemo's at, combined with Claim, really the hardest boss is going to be Julius, since both Chaos and Graham should go down pretty quick. So in this state, you can choose, you can afford to skip a bit more healing.
You're in boss rush mode with such high-end gear.
Boss rush, level 40, tasty meat, nothing else.
Right. Still don't have slide. Maybe cemo will find it this time.
Yep, they'll run into it. It's the moment of, oh man, Could have had this so long ago. Is yellow going to be an arena? Probably. I'm thinking arena, or there may have been a check in dance hall that I don't think we've seen yet. But at this point, we've cleared most of the areas. Is Garni farming Big Golem? Garni would rather farm Big Golem than go to Arena. Okay, thank God. He's just killing the Big Golem on the off chance it drops.
Quick farm attempts. With the Warp 2 arena, you can check the worst room in the game. Those kinds of things that might be... like, if you could avoid it, that'd be great.
Arena's a pretty quick area to full clear, too. Especially since, even some of the slower checks, like Worst Room, GDR, the souls are not weighted at all. They can show up in any of these checks. So it's definitely worth it to just go check them, especially if Arena is the last area you have left. There's Slide. Oh, that is a good point. We have not seen all the checks in Gardens either. So we could be looking at Yellow Soul in Gardens. As well as whatever the other exit of Gardens leads to. We got the strawberry.
No.
I think Garni saved just right in that screen, so not losing any time.
No. Losing the strawberry, I guess. That's all.
Yeah, Garni hasn't seen the HUD waterfall. I'm just saying that we also haven't seen some of the checks in Gardens. So, on either side. So we don't know if the Yellow Soul is there or not.
There's a lot of fast checks in Gardens. I'm surprised, was it cemo that found it?
Yep, cemo found Gardens. Garni gets the Stole with Soul.
Alright, that's all 3 souls now for Garni.
Gonna need to head to top floor now. Through the warp, as he didn't open that locked door. And then it'll be time to see if he knows where Gardens is. If he's been keeping track of his remaining exits.
We'll find out whether Yellow Soul is in Arena or not.
Garni should have either Calibulg or Levitain for Julius. equipping the book souls before even hitting phase 2.
He's
Bit of an
relying on the
interesting
claim
choice.
power.
Yeah. And Alistair's hitting a solid, I think 35? I haven't been able to see a damage number from it.
His intervals of attacking. There, yeah, 35. Just slow swings from Alistair.
That's Alistair for you.
That's Graham.
Yeah, very fast fight there. The power of claim. There was a chance for the post-Graham rush soul, but instead it was a Medusa head. And we saw a duplicate yellow book in worst room.
Yeah.
Unlucky. Looking for the yellow soul, not the yellow book. Is that a final sword?
Yeah, final sword.
Well, that's nice.
Doubling back for that one.
Garni does not know where Gardens is.
That is going to buy cemo some time going into the Balor fight. Maybe the soul could be behind Balor. Also, Balor in the arena, kind of nice.
Is this even randomized? And that is a lot of damage. On first phase Blur, no less.
Lane intervals.
Oh, does Gardens connect to Clock Tower? I don't think we've seen the top right Clock Tower check. Joyous.
Now I remember the waterfall entrance to Gardens, but the other entrance we have not seen yet either.
Yeah, it looks like Garn is headed there under the assumption that that right exit is one of the only ones remaining.
Arena kind of comes up empty except for that final sword. We have to hope Gardens has the soul or Semo's gonna be farming too.
There's a dupe yellow, or there's a check here that we haven't seen behind this slide lock.
Semo has slide, but has gotten used to swapping for bat a lot sooner.
Next thing will reset out of slide.
But
I think they
needed
both.
it for this. Alright, nothing.
Okay. That's the other side of Gardens for Semo. This could be good. That's Hippogriff.
Fight! Even more fight.
That's very out of the way. That's the yellow soul.
Yeah, stole us. We got it. Okay, they're both in Gardens. But Semo needs to go fight Graham.
Last headed the wrong way there. Garni not even saving for Julius, just headed right in.
Ready for a fight.
Putting on Stolas to boost the damage of Creeping Skull.
Oh, Oh, nice anti-air with the creaking skull. Big bunks.
I was watching Garni stream a couple of days ago, and he has like 4 different save states at Julius, just to practice with different weapons.
Oh, that's really good ideas for practicing. Like, do I have really good gear? Do I have some basic gear?
Is this the seed where I'm doing Julius with the katana and lubricant at level 4? How to prepare for all eventualities.
Oh, yeah. Waiting for phase 2 to put the soul combo on for Graham for a fast check. Back to Devil. It's nice that Stolas is your yellow soul because that's another intelligence booster. So this is a really good rush build for cemo.
Well, Stolas, Elfenrobe, and Claim. Can't really ask for much more than that.
Intelligence nearly maxed by equipment. Yeah, that was so quick.
Checking the blue canister just in case it's Manticore, I suspect.
Only one thing better than Devil. Garni's in the chaotic realm now.
No Hippo, so gonna see a bat swap here at the start just to get up. It could be some of these minor issues not having Hippo and that such, which could help cemo build up a bit of make up a bit of this time.
Nice curly. That was a drop from the Minotaur? Or the ghost that was next to it.
Not as helpful this late into the seed, but still good to see.
Final sword, rush souls. Oh man, cemo might catch up.
Well, that's right. I've been forgetting that cemo had final. So this chaos fight for cemo is going to go even faster. The final sword is a backdash weapon. It also can multi-hit, meaning that its damage output is a lot better than Claim's.
Closer to the hill, you can get a double hit. Is it true that maybe even a triple is possible?
I think it depends on the enemy you're hitting. I want to say that I've seen triples on, like... Is that Excalibur? No, it was a Red Soul. Okay. I think I've seen triples on, like, the Chaos Phase 1.
Phase 2, Julius. Get away from the Grand Cross.
Well, I mean, you can definitely hit multiple times on Chaos because it has multiple body parts. It's like you can hit twice on one eye, once on the other eye, and once in the core. But it's more so, I think you can land a triple hit on a single body part in the first phase.
These statues huge. Yeah, big hitboxes. Chaos 1. They steal all of your souls, but you can prep for phase 2 here. Have an easier phase 1, depending on what statue you bring down first. They'll all come at you, representing the kind of souls that the statues are holding. the blue soul statue rushing at you with like a gargoyle dragon demon. The yellow one's sapping your MP, which makes it really rough going into phase 2 if you're relying on some MP build stuff. That's phase 1.
Goes pretty fast near the claim since it can multi-hit. Hit 2 of those statues at the same time.
Cemo hot on the heels of Garni in the Chaotic Realm, almost more than halfway through.
Garni's looking for a spot here where if you hover with Medusa Head, he can hit both eyes at once, but fails to find it and reverts to a classic strategy where you high jump and can hit the top eye twice. He needs to watch out. There's a lot of damage there. And he's getting hit by the orbs.
Setting off a chain reaction from that serpent, those little tiny orbs that are like landmines. These fast hits. We're so close.
That's chaos.
He's done.
Right as Cemo is entering.
Oh.
We're gonna see just how good Final Sword is here. Hitting 155, but double hitting that, so insane damage output from this weapon.
I don't know why the timer's still running.
The Guardian just doesn't hit done.
This weapon, you're hitting the bottom eye twice sometimes.
And you can still do the same trick where you hit the mid-core and the eye at the same time. We even just saw you can hit both eyes and the core at the same time.
Yeah, that's a really good sweet spot. Damaging down the center while knocking these eyes out, lowering the defense of the core.
And once those are done, you're double hitting the core. You have your Rush Soul. There's going to be some insane damage output here.
Yeah. Spike is about to hit. That's okay. A lot of heals.
Yeah, if you pause, then you're going to stand up for a frame when you unpause. So sometimes you just get hit. Well, that's a very fast fight. GG's. Cemo as well.
Wow. Good job to both the runners. Very close at the end. Just one boss fight away.
And as mentioned, we are going to have all 3 races of this best of 3 today. So we're going to be seeing the second race in just a few minutes here, after the runners take a break and we get some setup done.